Hello, trading is closed on August 28th, 2020. Let's start with our disclaimer. This is my plan for Monday. Use it at your own risk. I always welcome comments from others as long as the person gives a reason. We'll look for the pattern with the early high, and this is it. And Monday's pattern also has the early high. Here's what we said, and these are my calls for the daily patterns for next week. MEJT early on said ultimately a higher price it would print, which they did. Here it said that this drop was false, would retrace, said this rally would retrace, and only after it retraced would they be able to make a sustainable move. So it isn't leaving us any targets for next week. Well, this is the weekly chart. We hit the upper Bollinger Band. If you look, that's a strong resistance area. It's possible to go through the bands at extremes. I can't say we won't go through it next week. It has happened. But just be aware, it's a resistance area. And it's also resistance here on the monthly chart. We don't really go a heck of a lot further over the Bollinger Bands or under them than we are now. That doesn't mean we have to change direction Monday. It just means you're overextended. I don't know what happened there. Here we go. This was the chart we showed before. We had an August target of 3509.50. We hit that. So you're right at the line. I got this number on the monthly chart. Now some other people have used daily charts and weekly charts, and they got numbers slightly higher, and for all I know their numbers are correct. But as of now, we hit my target in August. So if this line keeps moving up, and if we delay until September, it goes up to about 35.28 and a quarter. Well, the rule is when you go up to a line like this, you either gap over it or the line wins. You can't gap over it until Tuesday because it's a monthly chart. If you do go over it, the rules say you're supposed to retrace to the line. Well, Monday's pattern has the early high, doesn't mean you won't gap down. Usually it's a bullish day with a last hour high. Failure is a straight line drop. Stop right at my August trend line target for the end of the leg. I got the figure using monthly charts. One person made a helpful comment on the web channel saying you got a higher target using weekly charts. Peter Eliade is opposed to the higher target using a daily chart. And of course that trend line keeps moving up. So the target keeps on fluctuating. And the one I get if we wait until September is about 35.28. There are a number of factors make me think that this high today isn't going to hold. The shorter time frames are giving higher targets. You don't typically hit highs of legs on Fridays. We rallied into Friday's close. It almost always spills over into Monday. Monday's pattern is usually positive. We got buy signals on the volatility indices, and futures have already printed a higher equivalent price. So all these things are positive, but of course they get killed if we gap down smartly. Be aware we got a signal based on someone else's work that soon, most likely Monday, we're due for a day with a very large range. It's possible we gap over the trend line, my whole idea fails. It's also possible we have a big drop, although it's hard to see now what would make that happen unless there was a news event of some kind. Bottom lines were at strong resistance, either charge through in grand style or begin a sizable drop. I suspect which of the two happens will be clearer on Monday. probably, but not definitely, at or after the on or soon after the open. If we get a huge up move Monday, if we cap up in spades, it's breaking through resistance, and you only need confirmation to confirm the move. And if we do get a big gap down, which the resistance would explain, but otherwise it's hard to explain, then I'd believe it, because you're way overextended here. So it's time to fish or cut bait. We're right at resistance. We are expecting a big move. The day is usually up Monday, but with an early high. But if it drops in a straight line. And as the Chinese say, may you live in interesting times, because I think next week will be a very interesting time. This fail be added to the list. It should print it sometime. Interesting time next week. We'll see you Monday. End of today's call.